Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy, and we're two tenderfoot tourists. Welcome to episode 67, the one about having fun in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Part 2.
Hot Springs, Arkansas. Yeah.
It was so much fun. I definitely want to go back again. I would love to do it when we're a little less fat.
Yes, that's nice.
I want to take advantage of the hiking trails.
Yeah.
I had no idea they had hiking trails there, and that was a huge part of what they're about there, besides the water, obviously.
Well, yeah, beyond that, there's a lot of hiking trails there. In fact, I even saw a statistic somewhere how many miles worth of walking trails they have, but I don't have that in front of me.
It was a beautiful area. I can see why people would want to do that.
Yeah, well, and the interesting thing about Hot Springs is it's been divided up between an actual town and also a national park, which is also by the same name as Hot Springs. And
right.
It's got this one street that runs down through downtown, and one side is your national park, which has the bathhouses and the mountain tower, which we're going to talk about in this episode. And then you have a lot of not residential, but businesses and hotels and stuff on the other. So in this episode, now if you if you listen to the first episode, we talked about the Waters Hotel where we stayed and the convenience that it was just absolutely amazing.
That it was
hotel.
Really beautiful.
It was really, really nice. And
great service.
Great service, great location, because everything was within about a 12-minute walk.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. We've never dealt with that before.
Never have. And they had the valet parking, which, you know what, we took advantage of that. And we also recommend that if you're going to be staying at the Waters, to take advantage of that as well, and tell Justin we said hi.
Definitely. I hope he remembers us.
Oh, I hope so too. He seemed to like us a lot, but you know what?
But he may just be really good at his job.
Just maybe. But let's see. We talked about that. We talked about the spas across the street from us, and the tours and the museums that we toured as well. So if you're interested in any of those things we just mentioned right now, you need to go back to part 1 of this episode. It's episode 66, having fun in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Part 1, though.
Part 1.
Yeah.
So, but this episode, we're going to talk about some of the things that we saw. For instance, we looked around the Arlington Hotel. That was one we didn't mention.
That place was pretty.
It was really nice, and we'll give you some information about that. We'll also talk about the Mountain Tower. We'll talk about a lot of the food that we ate there.
Yeah.
And
okay, y'all. If we would have been there more than a couple days, we'd been in some serious trouble.
Oh, some serious trouble.
That food was good.
Yeah, my waistline expanded. So I got a lot more equator than I had before I left.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Had to buy 2 new pairs of pants. Okay.
Oh, funny.
So also we're going to talk about some gangsters.
Yeah, okay. You know, I was so... we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But where we would like to start is, why is it Hot Springs, and is it volcanic? Because that was the first things.
Yeah, that's what we thought. We thought, okay, for the water to be hot, it has to be due to volcanoes. I mean, I've watched Dante's Peak. I know things.
Pierce Brosnan would not lie to me.
That's right.
He's a great guy.
I trust him. He was Remington.
With that British accent, you have to trust him. Am I right?
Hey, if you're a woman, really it's smart. The accent, it's the eyes. It's the smile.
It is the smile. Okay, so it's not volcanic, but
right.
It's geothermal. Yeah, geothermal. Thank you.
Yes.
It's geothermal. The water, the springs, it goes down, and then the mountain actually, it spits up the water through all these different layers as it's being heated down in the crust, and it gets 4 degrees for every 300 feet that it goes down, that it heats up.
I'm glad you've got all that information. I just couldn't absorb it. It was so interesting, though. I mean,
it is, and it pushes it back out. I actually had something here.
Well, I mean, and while you're looking at that, we talked about it. We went to some of those fountains, and you could put your hand in it, and it wasn't going to hurt you if you just touched it.
No.
But I wouldn't want to keep my hand in it very long. It'd probably start hurting.
It would be a little painful, I think.
But it was pretty neat. I liked it.
According to this travel guide, if you will, like we had in the hotel at the Waters Hotel, they had this a little bit of history, a little bit of things that you can visit around, a little booklet in your hotel room. And it gives like by the numbers. And this is directly from the actual book. It says 47 is the number of hot springs in Spa City. That's another name for Hot Springs, Arkansas. 1541 is the year Hernando de Soto visited Hot Springs. He has some sort of significance to that place. 141 miles is the distance you can see at the top in all directions of the top of the Hot Springs Mountain Tower, which we're going to go into later in the episode.
Yeah, that place is cool.
It is really cool. Now, number of 2 is the number of still operational bathhouses on the historical Bath Row.
You know what? I know we talked about this last episode, but I've thought about it, I was like, man, if we ever get the opportunity, I would go in and try it.
Yeah.
I would. Just to say we did.
Yeah. Yes.
Just to say we did.
Yeah.
Because it is a curious thing. I mean, I don't know how much I believe that it would heal anything or.
Right.
But I mean, it'd be kind of neat to go through the process.
I'm always leery, and you know how I am, and I think you're kind of the same way. It's like I don't like being touched. So, but you've told me in the past that when it comes to like a massage, it seems a little awkward at first, but once you're into it, you're like, this is the best thing ever, especially if the person knows what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
But the therapeutic massages takes it to a whole new level.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you know, I went for a massage once on my own, and I was mad when I left.
Yes, you were.
But then I had to go to a physical therapy massage, and they hurt me too. Mm-hmm. But I had it explained to me, and I know why it hurt.
Oh, yeah?
And it wasn't because they're liking it.
All right.
And after they were done, I felt tons better.
Right.
Because they worked that soreness out. So I'm thinking a massage that was suited for my ailments.
Sure. Okay. I see what you're saying.
I can take that.
Whenever it is actually focused on the area that you're needing attention most.
Right. I don't think I'd ever sign up just to go for one that helps me relax.
Yeah.
Because that's too invasive. I don't want you touching me.
No, I have beer to help me relax.
I have an empty glass. I'm not going to discuss it.
Beautiful. Okay, so just an FYI, if you really are looking for a good seasonal beer, Blue Moon makes this something called the Winter Wheat. Holy cow, that thing is really good. It's got ginger, cinnamon, and also the typical, what they usually use is orange peels. So good. Okay, so 1803, right, is the year the United States acquired Hot Springs as a part of the Louisiana Purchase, right, which later on we find out that is it Andrew Jackson, I think it is, who actually made it the very first ever national park in the U.S. It was the first one ever. I don't know if we mentioned that in the first one or not.
I don't know if we mentioned it either. I thought that was pretty fascinating. I think we may have, because I'm positive we mentioned the fact that it's the only one that has a brewery.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That is part of the national park.
Yeah, exactly. So 147 degrees is the temperature in which the Spa City's thermal mineral water comes out. That's the temperature, 147 degrees. And then it sits on 5,500 acres. The national park does. The Hot Springs National Park sits on 5,000. So anyway, we just thought we'd bring that to you because I think it's fascinating.
It is. It's incredibly fascinating.
So now that we got that out of the way.
If you like science, you'll love this stuff.
Where do you want to start at anyway? What do you want to bring to our listeners? Do you want to start with food? Do you want to talk about
I want to talk about the tower.
Oh, let's talk about the tower, shall we? Well, in advance, I had already had plans on taking you up to the tower for your birthday because you and I don't deal with heights very well.
No.
We don't deal with it at all. But given the right circumstances, we can actually face that fear and actually enjoy ourselves. Right,
and we're tired of being afraid. So
that is an issue
so
too.
We're pushing ourselves some. I mean, you're not going to see us out skydiving or bungee jumping anytime soon.
No, I'd have to be dead.
Right, but if we're closed in or strapped in, we're trying stuff. And I mean, you don't know us. You guys don't realize how big this is.
Oh, it is a big
We're
thing.
such chickens. But no, we're really branching out. We want to do a lot more and we're excited about it actually.
Yeah, exactly. And so we decided, I wanted to do this because one, being the time of year, I was hoping leaves have already turned by the time we got up there and it would have made a glorious view up there with all the leaves turning and stuff.
It would have been beautiful and it already was.
And it was still gorgeous, even though it was cloudy that day. It was still nice. It impeded the view a little bit because of the fog that we had, because the clouds were a little lower.
Okay, let's back up. So we get there and we park. We go in, and the first thing you see when you first walk in is basically it's a souvenir shop. They have snacks you can buy, drinks you can buy also. But you walk over, you tell the guy you want to go up in the tower. You pay him, I think it was like $7 a person. You pay them. They give you a little coin, a token.
Which
you put it in the little turnstile like going into the subway.
Yeah.
And that's how you get up into the tower. You go through that and you get in the elevator.
Get in the elevator and you go up. I have video footage of that. I plan on putting that up on our YouTube channel. So if you are interested in looking at that and seeing what we saw. Now, I will say it's a shame because they haven't cleaned the outside of the windows in quite a while. You can tell. So it's a little hazy, but it's still pretty cool. You just get a real understanding of how high we went. Right.
Because it keeps going, the levels keep going by, and you're going, wow, they're still going up.
You're still going up. I know, exactly. I'm trying to find out how tall that tower is. It's about 1,200 feet above sea level.
Right. And I mean, that means, guys, the view was incredible.
It was.
We were up there, it was misting. There was fog in the distance in some areas, and we're just still going, wow.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
You can see up to 100, according to this, which I believe it, especially on a clear day, 140 miles.
Right.
In all directions.
Nearby, we could see, what was it, a little theme park?
Amusement park,
Amusement park, yeah. The roller coasters looked very small.
They did look pretty small from there. But you can see all of Hot Springs from up there.
We could see our hotel.
You can see our hotel. You can see the Arlington. You can see all the bathhouses are down there. Right. Everything. You can see everything for 140 miles.
It was a very cool view. And I would definitely take people up there again. And like we said, it's only like 7-something. It's worth it.
It is really worth it. It really is.
And I felt safe.
Yeah, that's
Other than the elevator. The elevator did weird things that made Steve kind of go, are we going to die?
He said, we're all going to die.
But it was fine. It just made its own little special noises. But, no, the fencing up at the top, we were laughing about it because I was like, it's like Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
They're trying to keep the dinosaurs in.
Are we the dinosaurs?
That's what I was wondering.
I feel like a dinosaur some days. Most days anymore. But, I think it's really worth the money to go up to it. It's worth the time to look out over. We probably spent, 30 minutes up there maybe, just taking photos, taking in the view, talking about the area, just really, it does give you a sense of just how, in the woods Hot Springs is. It really does. And how huge this place really is as far as like how much tree and forest land is that it sits in the middle of. So, I mean, it's really nice. I really like that. I'm glad we did that.
It was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did it when we did it too, because we did it our first day. And that made it a lot of fun too.
What happened to your voice?
It's going in and out. Be nice.
It sounds cute.
Hold on. Is it back?
Sort of.
I think we're losing.
We're losing. So we need to record quick.
Sure. Let's do this.
Okay. So the tower, highly recommend you do little switchbacks going on the way up there. You can,
driving up to it.
Driving up to it. You can walk up to it.
Yeah, if you're a hiker, you can hike it.
There's only one entrance, and it's over by the Arlington Hotel. You have to go up the road that is over by the Arlington Hotel. You only have one entrance, and you have one exit. So,
right, so you don't have to worry about coming head-to-head with a car.
Right, and there's a little turn-offs or stops. Pull-offs, that's the word. Pull-offs along the way, so if you can look at the view or whatever.
Right. It really was a nice, relaxing way to start out.
It's like a miniature Pikes Peak.
Yeah. Really miniature.
With the switchbacks. Really super miniature, right?
The switchbacks were not nearly as terrifying.
No, they weren't. And okay, so we went to there. We went to
we walked around the Arlington.
Yeah, we did. We walked around the Arlington, the library, the lobby area. Now you're free to go in. You can use the restaurant that's down in the lobby area. You can make use of the bar that's down there. You can
walk around and you can just take pictures and look around all of the bottom level, right?
Yeah, all the bottom level. That's great. You're not allowed to go in the elevators up to the floors, guest areas or below. But you can, and they actually have this tiny little museum, or
it's just a little area where there's history,
a little bit of history that they're showing you.
It has some really cool pictures of the very first Arlington Hotel.
Right.
Then when it burnt down.
Right. Yeah, this is the third one.
Yeah, and then when they started rebuilding, it was pretty fascinating to look at.
Right. I think we mentioned all those like specific things on the first episode or first part of this. So
it was so cool though. I really liked it. It was really neat when you first walked into Arlington. You could look over to your left, and there was a small stage.
Oh yeah.
But you could tell it was old.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to look at something that. Who knows who performed there,
you know?
This
building was actually built, the one that's sitting there right now was built in 1940 something. I don't remember, 1941, 1942, maybe even 1940. But the original one was actually built like in the early or late 1800s. And they said, you know what? It's not meeting occupancy. We're going to have to make it bigger. So they tore it down or added to it. I can't remember which one it was. And they made it larger, and they had like 300 rooms or something like that. I don't remember specifically. It burnt down. Firemen tragically lost their life in that. Mm-hmm. And then they rebuilt, and that's what we have nowadays. Today is the Arlington. And
it's classy.
It is it's really got a lot of history. You know, the thing is, it wouldn't shock you to walk around, you see someone in 1940s clothing walking on in the aviary? No, what's the outside porch?
I would call it a porch.
Oh, okay. Outside porch. I mean, it wouldn't shock you. Nope. It seemed like it fits in, right?
Yeah, it would look like that. It's just where they belonged.
Yeah. Oh, and if you're staying in the downtown area and you're looking for a place that gives you Starbucks, Arlington has Starbucks.
Yes, they do have a Starbucks there.
So that's a good thing to know, right?
Yep. And it's not right in the front door where it's going to change the ambiance when you walk in. It's tucked in a corner, and that was really smart of them.
And it also has a gift store. Oh, which, by the way, speaking of gift stores, we visited and we bought a couple of shirts at the Mountain Tower.
Yes, we did. And that was probably the best prices we found on shirts the whole time.
Really was.
And they were nice. They felt nice and everything, so I was pretty pleased with that.
They actually had a pretty decent gift store there. I was really shocked. I mean, you wouldn't have expected. I mean, the T-shirts and the selection they had was really, really good, and the prices were very reasonable.
I'm always on the hunt for a specific souvenir, and I did not find one. My hat. I'm always looking for a new hat.
You never found a hat there.
But I'm really particular about it.
You are.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not meant to have one from here, but that's all right. I'll get one at the next place.
Find one. Yeah, we've visited, 2 or 3 gift shops. And all of them had some pretty good selections.
Probably 3 if you count the one at the place that sold the water.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We can say 3.
Isn't that right?
Yeah. Okay, so, but yeah, if you're looking for a twofer, like going up in the tower and having a good time, seeing a great scene, and also having a choice of like items to pick at a gift store, souvenir store.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll say their souvenir shop was probably one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was really good.
They had quite a variety. They didn't have a lot of cheesy, dumb things.
No.
They had a few. I mean,
what
kids like those.
Yeah, what gift store does not?
But I mean, they had some really nice glasses there. They had
useful things, I would say.
Lots of T-shirts, and their T-shirt choices were such a variety of different materials and different styles.
Yeah.
I got my purple one from there.
Yeah, I like that one.
I do too.
I got my orange one there. Mm-hmm. And it's really nice.
But yeah, we really enjoyed it. We tried to get them to sell us one of the little tokens so we could keep it as a souvenir, but they don't do that.
Okay, just to let you know, I even asked the guy, I say, hey, I really like those tokens. How much can I pay for it? He goes, everybody asks me if I can buy one of those tokens off of, and he says no. Well, he goes, I have a hard enough time, but people coming in, they steal them. And he goes, they're used for the. So
they'll just come in and say they're going up, then they keep them.
Yeah. And I could totally see someone doing that.
I considered doing it, but then I felt bad when he said what he said. So I was like, oh, well, that would be dishonest then at this point.
That's what it would be, stealing.
Yeah, because you're renting it.
Yeah. Just borrowing it to get in. Oh, and that's the other thing. Listen, if you go up into the tower, they do have an enclosed area. You don't have to go out into the walkway.
Right.
So
if you're afraid, yeah.
You can see some of it, like half of the view. Not as well but you can go up there and you don't have to worry about getting, like Sandy said, too frightened. So
right, like Olivia, it would be good for her because she could go up in there, and if she decided to venture out, she would be okay.
Yeah. So we were talking about the Arlington Hotel, which if anybody just wants, just read up on this place. I mean, the place is amazing. Al Capone used to stay up there. In fact, you can get his room that he stayed in because he usually rented out the entire floor. I can't remember which floor it was, but he used to rent out the entire floor, and he had one specific room that he liked that had a getaway closet, and it's a little door inside the closet, and it's still there.
That's so cool.
And I was like, okay, that is like some of the coolest, historic, awesome things that you could probably do there in Hot Springs is get that room and then check out that, I just blown away here. Mind.
I just keep thinking about the different people I've heard were there, one of which was Sammy Davis Jr. at one point.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here going,
yeah, I
could picture him staying in a place like that or being up on that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I thought, okay, especially with this Kathleen Turner thing going, got going right now. I didn't want to try to do Sammy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could picture him even doing a bit up there on that little stage.
Is that what he says?
I don't remember.
Ka-chunk. Okay, no more beer for me. Okay, let's go.
That's the sound of Sandy's laugh when she's sick.
Okay, so we talked about the Arlington and the historical significance of that place. And plus, we also mentioned who attended, which, by the way, that's just like a tiny, itsy-bitsy drop in the bucket of the people that have actually visited that place.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the fact that you can go in there and you can enjoy the lobby area, you can enjoy the food, in fact, they even have brunch. Arlington Hotel is fun to visit. What else did we do here? Food.
I started to say we could do that, or we could talk about combination nightlife and food.
Okay, so you want to talk about the
Ohio Club.
Oh.
I think that's probably one of my favorite things we did, even though we didn't spend a lot of time there.
Yeah.
I think I really liked it a lot.
Okay, so just to give you an idea of what the Ohio Club is compared to the Avenue, because it is a restaurant/bar that is in the Waters Hotel. Comparing it to the Ohio, is you're looking at two different types.
It's apples and oranges.
It really is. We dropped in
it's
after
very
we
hip.
left. Yeah, it is.
Very stylish and plush, yes.
And it's open to the public, and the waitress.
Oh, the wait staff was wonderful.
Robin was her name, and she was phenomenal, because we didn't see anything we saw on the list in the Avenue that really appealed to us, and we basically described it like, listen, this is kind of what we're looking for. They picked something out for us based upon what we were looking for.
And they nailed it.
And they nailed it.
They knew exactly what we were needing.
To what the customer needs.
Yeah, she was very good.
So, because you know what? Sometimes we're picky. Now, I described that area, which, by the way, you can go online to the Waters Hotel, the Avenue restaurant, which is inside the Waters Hotel. You can go online, you can look at it, you can look at their menu, you can kind of get a feel or the gist of what you're looking at.
And you can go eat there without staying at the hotel.
It's open to the public.
It's a restaurant.
Right. But right next door.
Okay.
Okay, this is the funny part. So the Ohio Club, it's been around forever. In fact, hold on.
It has such a cool feel, cool vibe, I guess you'd say.
It really does.
You walk in and you just go, okay, this place is awesome.
It really is. I really, really like it. I picked up they have a little, a menu / brochure that's in the front at Ohio Club. The Ohio Club is one of Hot Springs' most historic sites. And you look at the exterior, you're going like, okay, this place is seen, it's been around for a long time. Not that it looks like decrepit and it looks like it needs a lot of repair. It's just, the architecture in itself is just amazing. It is one of the only remaining saloons that is still open of its original illegal casinos.
Yeah. Okay. It has quite a history.
It does. It goes all the way back before the Prohibition.
I thought we took a picture of the menu. On the back of it, it told the history.
Right here.
Did you find it?
Yeah, right here. That's what I'm reading.
Oh, it is the same thing. I apologize.
But there's an interesting story behind the name of the Ohio Club, which I thought was kind of fascinating. But although it has been closed at times for fires or floods, which floods was another interesting. Remember that thing we read about the floods where Anyway, we won't go there. That's a distraction. Because of being raided for illegal gambling, it has basically been open for business since 1905. When John Coffey Williams and his brother-in-law, Sam Watt, opened it. A unique time in the saloon casino history was during the Prohibition. Pictures will show you that the signage was changed from Ohio Club Bar to Ohio Cigar Store. That hence the name.
Aha.
That was a part of their speakeasy.
That's what I say, hiding it.
Hiding it, you know. So, we can't serve alcohol no more, so we're going to make it a cigar store, air quotes.
Oh, cool. And then it talks about the fact that there was a false wall put up.
Yeah.
To hide the contents of the bar. That's pretty funny.
So lots of people ask, why exactly is it called the Ohio Club? And this is a fascinating story, especially if you're a history person like Sandy and I. We love this sort of thing. The name is a product of the Civil War. John Coffey Williams' family fought against each other in the Civil War. They had a split in the family because of the Civil War. Half of the family went to Kentucky and Tennessee, and the others went to Ohio. After the war, a lot of entrepreneurs moved to the South. They would often open a saloon or club after the name of the state they retreated to.
Okay, that's really cool.
So, and for instance, there at one time in Bathhouse Row, they had clubs that were called the Kentucky Club, the Indiana Club, the Illinois Club, and along with the Ohio Club.
You know, we sat upstairs when we ate, and that's where the casino used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that interesting? I've got it right here.
Oh,
yeah, I found the picture.
Oh, so you see the thing of the people that ate there and all that
yeah,
stuff?
that's what I was going to say.
Okay, cool.
I was, that's also, you know, I was talking about Sammy Davis Jr. This is where I must have read it because it talks about the fact that if you're sitting there eating, you can imagine that maybe you're sitting where someone like Mae West, Al Jolson, Sammy Davis Jr., Tony Bennett, Babe Ruth.
Wow.
Along with presidents like Teddy Roosevelt. You know, you're just sitting here going, what? It's crazy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I love, this place is an amazing historical, location, and it's one of the oldest bars, / pub or / whatever in Hot Springs.
If you want a piece of that history, you don't have to go in and order anything alcoholic. They serve soda and tea and stuff like that too. But it's really, really cool, guys. I mean, to know that was there as a speakeasy is pretty neat.
Oh, it is really neat. Okay, so I remember when I was sitting there and I was admiring the mirror.
Yes.
The Mahogany Mirror Bar back there. As one of the most talked about parts of the bar is this amazing bar back. It is made of hand-carved mahogany. It was probably made around in the 1890s. It was definitely made before electricity was available. And this thing was ornate. I mean, as far as like,
it's
detailed
fancy.
Is what I mean.
I mean, to me, I think of Old West. I mean, it is, you know, in the movies, Old West, not the truth.
Oh, yeah.
But the big fancy ones.
The back of the bar was actually brought by one of the owners on a barge. Did I say that already?
On a barge on the Mississippi.
On a barge
River.
on the Mississippi.
Very good.
So.
You did it.
I did it. But, really, honestly, now you don't have to go there in the evening. They actually open at 11 a.m. and you can go in there and you can have yourself a nice meal. They really serve some really good food, do they not?
Oh, their food was very good. I really enjoyed it. I think didn't I have sweet potato fries there too?
You had sweet potato fries.
Those are so good. And the thing is, though, if you go later for the nightlife, they actually have live bands every night.
Yeah, up in the second floor, they have the Ohio Club Band up there, and they actually have other people there playing music and stuff. They were doing an 80s flashback or something like that the evening that we were there.
Yeah, they were, and we thought it started at 8.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to start till 9, and we had went in at 7.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're old, we're leaving. And I think they were going to start late even. So we're like, let's just go.
Yep.
And when we left, people were coming to the door and there's a guy just sitting out there in a chair going $5 cover as people went past him.
Yeah,
and just sitting there going,
I did.
This is so old school. It's awesome.
It is.
Now, still talking about the Ohio Club though is our waitress. We have to talk about our waitress.
Okay, Jamie.
She was great.
Jamie, if you're listening, I certainly hope you are. You were amazing waitress. I wish I could take you and put you in every restaurant that we visit.
And we talked to her about the fact that she just had that face she should have had on 1940 stuff. She just did it so well.
What did I say that she reminded me of Betty?
Oh, I can't remember who you said.
It's not Betty Garbo. It's
But she had the dark hair and dark eyes, and then she wore the red lipstick, and just the shape of her face, the way her hair was pulled up and she had a flower in her hair.
Yeah.
It was strange. It was not a strange in a bad way either. She's so pretty.
She was pretty. Yes.
She just looked like she should be in 1940s garb.
Yeah.
I'm hoping she did what she talked about doing and dressed that way for Halloween, because we're going to pull up and see how their contest goes tonight.
That was so the irony would have it is she actually dresses in that style when Halloween rolls around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that she already knew, and apparently we're not the only ones that ever told her that.
Yes.
So, I had an old-fashioned cheeseburger, which I was glad that it was I think it was a very good choice, because if you're someone who's just like looking for something simple,
just a simple
recognizable.
Cheeseburger, yep. Now, I tried the Swiss, mushroom and Swiss.
And it was good.
It was good. I wish I would have had yours.
Yeah.
Because it was better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wasn't like depressed.
No.
I had sweet potato fries, so I didn't care.
What do you think of the fries? What do you think of the prices? The prices were reasonable, weren't they?
Totally reasonable.
Especially for the portions you got.
Yeah, I didn't
atmosphere.
feel like I was being gouged. I mean, it was no different than any other time we'd been on vacation. Mm-hmm. So I felt like we were all right. And we got plenty of food.
Yeah. Yeah. Jamie was awesome, though.
Oh, she was incredible. And what we loved about her the most is we're sitting there thinking, oh, we're just sitting here taking up her table, waiting for the music to start. Mm-hmm. And we were eating. It's not like we weren't eating food and having drinks. But we know that they like to move you out.
Yes.
Because then they get more tips.
Right.
She kept going by and saying, y'all okay? And we said, yeah, we'll probably leave pretty soon. She goes, oh, you stay as long as you want. Don't you be in a hurry.
Yeah.
She said that 2 or 3 times to us. It was
like, we'll get you something to drink. If you want something to drink, you want water, you want
some dessert. Oh, wait, no, they didn't do dessert. They didn't do dessert. Remember? That's what it was.
That's right.
Yes. That's how we ended up with a key lime martini. Is that what it was?
It was the bartender ended up creating this on her own, and it was an amazing.
It tasted like key lime pie.
It tasted just like key lime.
It was incredible.
It was so weird. I could not believe it. It's like, this is key lime.
She said, I could bring you that for dessert if you want. And we're like, is it strong? No. But it tastes just like key lime. Oh, it did.
Oh, yeah.
It was incredible. But all the service there was really good. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, you could tell it could be quite a wild atmosphere if they wanted it to be. And I've heard stories. Yeah. But for us, it was very calm when we were in there. It was a lot of fun. We would have loved to have stayed for the music, like we said, but we're old. We left. We're tired.
Yeah. I hate being old.
Boy, it stinks.
It is.
We could just do what a lot of people at our age do and pretend we're not.
And then hurt ourselves and end up in the emergency room.
Look like fools? Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Look like complete idiots.
Okay, moving right along.
Okay, so the Ohio Club. That right there, in our estimation, if you want good local food, that is definitely the place. It doesn't matter what time of day that you're going. I wouldn't go if you think, okay, that's too much noise. I wouldn't go. But lunchtime, I'd like to have tried it at lunchtime.
Yeah, if you're sensitive to noise, don't go.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you go early, then it's probably a little quieter, like you said.
A little quieter, yeah. Yeah. So, so Ohio Club. Excellent place to go. Now, there's some things we did not have an opportunity to go to. There was a Gangster Museum, which I think $12.
I was really interested in that. Too.
Yeah. At the time that we were there, it may change between now the time you hear it and the time, that you go and visit, but it's like $12 in 2018.
Right.
To go in, and they have like a hat store where you can get your own gangster hat, that type of thing.
I totally would have tried on everything.
I know. And then they had all kinds of artifacts. I can't even say artifacts. Anyway, all kinds of museum
memorabilia. I can never say it. So
memorabilia stuff that is related to all sorts of gangsters. Everybody from Al Capone to. You know what? I got a list of them right here. If anybody likes the gangsters, this is a good place for you to go. Let me see. You'd have Al Capone, Frank Costello. Lucky Luciano, Ben Bugsy Siegel. That is very significant. Bugs Moran. Oni Madden. I think I need to talk about him. Oni Madden, the gangster. Okay. He started the Cotton Club in New York, was actually there. And Oni, actually, they have named a beer called the Madden No. 1 down there, which I highly recommend that you end up trying if you were into trying different crafts.
Like it.
You even like it. You don't even like beer.
Nope. I know I still wouldn't drink a whole one because it's just not my thing to drink beer. But a few sips, I was fine. I liked it a lot. For a beer.
If you like for the lack of a better way, a lawnmower ale. If anybody out there knows what I'm talking about when I say a lawnmower ale, you know exactly what I'm talking. It's got a nice, refreshing taste. But anyway, so Madden, Oni the Killer Madden, by the way, he was a vicious man. You can find all kinds of these gangster memorabilia down there in this museum. From what I'm told, it is a fascinating place to go if you ever are in the area and you're looking for something to do and got $12 to blow.
There you go. It'd be a great thing to do while it rains.
Which we experienced the entire time. Not
the entire time, but a lot of it.
Yeah. You want to talk about awesome food, or do you want to talk about breakfast food?
I think we talk about what we liked.
Okay.
What it comes down to is we tried several different things.
And one of the things that I am a breakfast person. If you're a breakfast person out there, I have your interest in mind. But breakfast for me is very important, is it not?
Oh, yeah. You love your breakfast. For me, it's a little harder. I'm hard to please.
Yeah. If anybody out there is looking for a breakfast place to go to, one of the first things you're going to find out, and when you go doing research on the hot springs area, they always mention the Pancake Shop. The Pancake Shop keeps coming up over and over and over and over again. And I'm not discouraging you from going, but our experience at the Pancake Shop was not what everybody is actually saying it. The food was not that great for us in this, and I'm saying this based on our experience.
Right. We personally did not feel that we had good service, good food.
We didn't feel welcome at all.
The environment was that great. It was extremely crowded. Like, they packed you in tight.
Yeah.
And, I felt like I was invading the space of the people next to me when I got up to leave.
Yeah.
And so we weren't really fond of that. Now, that being said, the food and the service, they could have just had a bad day. Maybe they were short-handed.
Exactly.
So we don't want to discount them completely. But we personally did not enjoy it and probably would not go back.
Well, and we won't go back. No. And in fact, us personally, yeah, exactly. We just won't go back.
We liked when we go to it's kind of a diner environment. When we go to that type of environment, we like it to feel comfortable and homey. And we didn't feel that way. So anyway, so we tried another place.
We did try another place, and it was like 3 places before we found the one that we say, you know what, hands down, their food was breakfast normal and also creative.
And they were welcoming.
Yeah.
And I started to say, when you said creative, that was something else I like. I like it when there's something on the menu you don't expect.
All right. And what is the name of this? Okay,
so they had Colonial Pancake and Waffle House. And they had chocolate gravy.
Yes. And yes, they did. Which, okay, I'm so glad you got that because, that is so unique.
It was very unique. And it's not like syrup. I always wondered if it would be like eating syrup. But it's not. It's like gravy, but it's chocolate. And, they give you thick pieces of bacon.
And it's chocolate, and it's beautiful.
And you dip your bacon in it, and it's salty and sweet, and
that was amazing.
It was really good.
But the
prices were good.
That's what I was trying to find out.
I wouldn't even say that they're normal tourist prices. I think they're normal small town prices.
They really are. It seemed as if, like, sometimes whenever you go to these places that are very touristy, you sense it's like, okay, whenever it's a down season, they bring out the local menu for the prices.
Right.
But then when
right.
the tourism starts, then you got this, because we went there and it was, tourism was not ended. There's a lot of people there.
I think, first of all, there was a lot of people there to do Oktoberfest.
Yes, exactly.
It was cute. It was clean. It was friendly. The food was good. The prices were great. We had a really overall great experience there.
I love the interior. It looked like you were in a log cabin.
Well, it was decorated with little crafty type of stuff.
Yeah. It was
spruce it up.
And I just had biscuits and gravy.
Right.
And with some, an egg on the side, sunny side up, and a couple of pieces of bacon. And it was really, really good.
It was very good.
It was really worth the price. The person was super awesome, and you can tell they were doing good business.
Yeah, they kept people steady coming through there.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went seemed to have pretty decent business going.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I love the space. It just felt comfortable.
It did. It felt like at home.
And I have to say, in most of the places we went to eat while we were there, I didn't feel rushed out.
No, I didn't either. No. So this place, the Colonial Pancake and Waffle House, it is like just a little ways down the street from the Pancake Shop.
Right.
But on the other side of the street, on the Arlington Hotel side.
Yes. Yeah.
So that is a definite place. If you're looking for a good breakfast.
There was a parking area right next to it.
Yeah, that was nice. But if you're staying at the Waters Hotel or the Arlington, just walk down to it.
But if you go camping or something and you want to drive into town to go eat, then it's easy to go park right at the end of it.
Right. So now the meal, how do you say the piece de resistance? Was it?
Piece de resistance. I don't know. I give up.
You know what I'm trying to say though, right? Okay, so anyway, I had this place on my bullseye from the very time that I started researching Hot Springs, Arkansas for your birthday. So this place is like, oh my goodness, one of the things that you and I wanted to eat at the most is a what?
An authentic German restaurant. We've wanted that for years. I mean, around our area, we have tons of Asian restaurants, tons of restaurants that serve Mexican food, Italian food, and then of course Americanized food. Mm-hmm. But it's just, there's nothing else.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, so one of the things that, like Sandy said, authentic German food or restaurant. That's what we were wanting really, really bad. And they just so happened to have one there called the Steinhouse Killer.
And what was really cool is it's got this location that's like, you're walking down this main strip and there's all these shops. Well, you go over in this little nook.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it.
I don't know what you call it. And you go downstairs.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going down to Cheers.
You know what? I didn't think about it, but yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You go downstairs and then you go in to the restaurant/bar. It was cool.
This restaurant's in the basement.
Yeah, it is. And it's not scary in the basement though.
No.
It's just very unique.
It's got this great, like, dim lighting ambiance that you like. I mean, if you want a place that's kind of romantic, but it still has there's a lot of chatter going on. No one's going like hushed tones or anything like that.
Right. It's comfortable, but it's not noisy.
Exactly.
The wait staff is most of them, not all of them, but are dressed in themed attire.
Right. German.
Lederhosen.
Lederhosen.
I don't know how to say it.
But anyway, so we're being complete noobs about the whole thing because they give us a menu that has all these German words
and names of food, and all I've ever seen before that I did somewhat recognize was the word
Wiener Schnitzel. No.
Okay, I knew, yes, schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
I'd seen the word schnitzel before, and I had researched it already because you told me you were taking me to German food, and I looked up what schnitzel was. And I was glad I at least knew that because it's meat that's pounded flat and fried, battered and fried, and it can be like chicken or veal or different things like that. But anyway, they had a whole list of different schnitzels.
They did.
Then they have 5 different kinds of sausages?
Yes.
I mean, it was incredible. We finally just asked for help.
Well, yeah, we had to because, I mean, you had like this, what's supposed to be a English, and next to it is the German half of it.
And it confused us.
And the English was still confusing because it was still in somewhat German.
Yeah, it was. It was really funny. And that doesn't make it bad.
It
was fun. It was exciting.
What did you have there?
I had the, what was it?
You had the Black Forest Schnitzel. That is what you did have.
Yes.
And let me see, that's thin sliced Black Forest ham piled with sauteed onions, mushrooms covered with melted Swiss cheese, and white cream sauce.
Dang right.
Holy cow.
It was huge too.
It was huge.
And
you had a lot on your plate.
We could have split it easily, and I ate it all. I felt so miserable later.
They had a lot of sides to choose from, by the way. And then
They cook a lot of things with vinegar involved, so there's a different tang to what they cook. A lot of, not all stuff, but certain things. And it was so good.
Okay, but it was delicious. Mine I cannot pronounce. It's a cheese spetzel. Spatzel?
No, I think you said it right because here, let me look.
Right in the bottom. Well, just above the starters.
Yeah, I think it's spatzel.
Spatzel? Anyway, basically, it was a German version of macaroni and cheese.
But it had stuff in it.
Oh my goodness. And it doesn't sound like something you're like, hey, that's exactly what I'm wanting. It was amazing.
Well, and it came with a big sausage.
It did. I had a choice of all different, 4 different versions of sausage.
4 or 5, yeah.
Anyway, make a long story short, it was amazing. I had German potato salad too.
Oh, and you were telling about your potato salad. Yeah, it's served warm and it does have that kind of vinegar kick to it, doesn't it?
It's a very vinegar-based sort of.
I tasted that. It was really good.
It was. It was very, very good. And then I had a broccoli salad.
Yes.
Which was really, really good.
And then to go,
Sweet broccoli.
we got my birthday cake.
German chocolate.
No.
No?
Because German chocolate has coconut, and you don't like it.
Right.
Neither do I.
That's right.
It was a Black Forest.
Black Forest.
Oh, is that right? No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
It was Black Forest because
Yes.
it got the cream and the cherries.
And the chocolate.
And the chocolate.
It has to have chocolate.
Chocolate. You can see all the images of our meal on Instagram.
If you're a foodie.
If you're a foodie and you want to see what we ate, which, thinking about it out loud, when I say it out loud, I'm like, that seems a little strange to me. But if you really are interested in
if you want to look at pictures of our food.
But if you're a person who's like, you know what, I'm looking for a good German restaurant while I'm down there in Hot Springs, Arkansas. 1, this is the only place. And 2, there doesn't need to be any other.
And please tell us if you have any ideas of places you'd like us to go to near the Missouri area, because, yes, we leave here once in a while on trips, but we'd like to go to places that we can go in a day.
Yeah, I would like to hear.
And try some different restaurants that are authentic, ethnic food.
Ethnic food, yes. And you know what? Our server, Ellie, was her name.
She was great.
She was really good. She was very attentive to what it is that we were asking for, and she knew the products that she was pushing.
Yes. And it's always scary. We try to trust our servers.
Yeah.
It gets a little scary sometimes. We've had servers in the past that you could tell by their face they had never even eaten the food, most likely.
Right.
But she was very good about it.
I was interested in the goulash. And she said,
She was very respectful to her employers by not insulting the food.
She goes, you may not like that because it's kind of iffy. A lot of people like her, they hate it.
Yep. She explained why he might not, because he had told his interest. And we had good bartenders that paid attention to that, and we had good wait staff that did too. Yeah. She did a great job.
Yeah, did a very good job. But we were in and out pretty quick, and we really enjoyed our food. We ate too much. It was awesome.
We walked there. We walked back. We were glad we walked back because we ate too much food, and it helped with that.
Yeah.
But it was a fun night. It is a little pricey.
Yeah.
But, if you're like us, we try to plan for at least that one pricey dinner.
Yeah, one pricey dinner. And we went back and we ate the Black Forest cake and watched Funny Girl? No.
Hello Dolly.
Yes, and I fell asleep on the bed.
Yep. I was having a great time though.
Yeah.
And poor Steve, he's like, is the part you're waiting for soon?
She kept on telling me, I don't even know what scene that is now. Right off the top of my head.
I kept going, it's pretty soon. And I hadn't seen it in a long time. And I was waiting for the part where she goes to the restaurant if you're a Hello Dolly fan. Because that's when it all really gets great, is at the very end when they're all in the restaurant.
Once it hits the restaurant and everything's coming together, okay, this is entertaining to me.
And it's super fast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's high, it's fast paced. Now, the one thing I don't like about Barbra Streisand in that movie is she talks way too fast.
Oh, it's totally the way I think. So listening to her, I love every minute of it. But moving right along.
She's such a...
She's a smooth talker.
She is a smooth talker.
She's a con lady.
Yeah, she was. So, so make a long story short, Hot Springs, Arkansas.
It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I really liked it. And it wasn't like fast paced, so exciting and incredible. It was peaceful and interesting.
Yeah, it was. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this place is going to be in another decade, because there are places and there are businesses that are still moving in and they're doing renovation and updating of a lot of the buildings that are there. I'm really interested to see how it looks in another decade. So, wow, I think that wraps up our episode 67, doesn't it?
It does. The one about having fun in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
And we did.
We did. Thank you for my surprise.
You're welcome. I can't wait to give you your next year's. I already got that in the works.
Yay. I'm spoiled really bad. I really am.
Thank you so much. I know I'm saying it again, but This episode has been very fun for us. We love bringing this kind of content to you. And you know what? If there's anything out there that you think that we should cover or any ideas you have for our podcast, let us know. Just write us at tenderfoottourist@gmail.com. Visit our webpage at tenderfoottourist.com. This podcast you can find is available on iTunes, Google Play Store, Podbean, Spotify, Castbox. Be sure to subscribe to us, like the episodes, give us some reviews, and share with your friends. That's all we ask. So thank you again. My name is Steve.
And I'm Sandy.
Until next time.
Stay tender. So Bugsy Siegel's a monster.